In less than 72 hours, Castro has destroyed the brigade.
It's the worst type of war you can have when you fight against your own people. And these were Cuban, misinformed, misdirected, but that history have shown that they were wrong. I get to the United States with always the intention of going back to liberate my country. The best alternative was joining the Brigada 2506. We landed in Cuba on the 17th of April. We fought there until we run out of ammunition and we have to retreat. It's important is that the brigade never surrendered. We will never surrender. We were captured as prisoners of war, but we never raised a white flag for Castro regime.
Wednesday, April 19th, resistance ends. All those who are not killed are taken prisoner.
You know, the fact is that the truth was never told to us, and we were sent there to die, mainly. And it was hard to take.
On that unhappy island, the news has grown worse instead of better. I have emphasized before that this was a struggle of Cuban patriots against a Cuban dictator. While we could not be expected to hide our sympathies, we made it repeatedly clear that the armed forces of this country would not intervene in any way.
President Kennedy, because of interests of the United States, did not abide by the plan that it was supposed to be executed when the United States had promised a air cover for our fighters. It was a promise made directed to all of us at the training camp. And our planes had no defense whatsoever. And we were told, I remember I was told very clearly, don't worry about that. And the carriers were there, and the planes were there. And the pilots were ready, and they suffered as much as we did. I heard the pilots saying, you know, we want to go, let us fight, you know. And I heard the radio commander says, you know, the big chief forbids us to help you. We want to help you, we can do it. And they were right there. I was looking at the carrier, the destroyers, so I was right there. And they wanted to help, and they were forced not to. When I was flown back to Miami, in front of me was a CIA agent, and I remember him crying, as I'm doing now, and saying, forgive us, we were betrayed. Oh. Also. So it was not their fault. They were betrayed also. After the failure of the Bay of Pigs, President Kennedy came to Miami for a speech at the Orange Bowl. Kennedy was very, delivered a speech with a lot of a positive view of the future, as if we had lost a battle but not the war. And he was very enthusiastic as far as what he was going to help us for the future of Cuba.
The Cuban people were promised by the revolution political liberty. They have received a police state, the elimination of the dignity of land ownership, the destruction of free speech and a free press, and the complete subjugation of individual human welfare. These are the principles for which men have died and fought, and they are the principles for which you fought and for which some died in your brigade.
In the emotion of the moment, Oliva and San Roman and Artemis gave the brigade flag to him. And he said, I would promise that I will give you this flag back in a free Cuba.
I can assure you that this flag will be returned to this brigade in a free Havana.
With regard to Cuba, the only time that I feel accomplished was when I was in prison. I knew that I did what I have to do. When I got here and I was promised that, I felt that that dream was going to happen. When I realized that it was just a bunch of lies, my frustration was tremendous, which I still feel that way today. I love this country. I have 3 kids born here. I have 8 grandkids. They love this country, but Cuba is my country.